What is up, guys? YodaDaWise here. There's been a lot of talk about all the tier 12s troops, what they do and how they work and what they're best for. So let's dive into it. Let's get a little more knowledge. All right, so here we have the first generation of tier 12. All right, we're going to call it 1.1 or 12.1, 12.2, 12.3 at the bottom. The first row is the original tier 12 when they came out, and I can't get this to focus right. So that's your Transcenders, Void Stalker, and Origin. These ones focus on HP. It's what drives their sub ability, which is Tear Space. If the normal attack succeeds, it deals damage by 20% of the initiator's current HP. This is why it's so important for if you are using these types of troops that you are putting as much HP as you can into their gear build, because that tear space relies on it. They also have decent stats in terms defensively, HP or whatnot on their own. They do a lot of damage, but the tear space does come in handy from time to time. So next we have our 12.2. This is going to be your Great Sage for Infantry, Blue Hulk for Walker, and Ether Degen for Air. Their sub-ability is Ether Impact. If damage is dealt, these troops receive a shield worth 50% of the damage. So the focus of this tier of T12 is attack. You want to have as much attack as you can on it because you want to do as much damage as you can on it. So, crit damage, everything that penetration, anything that's just going to cause damage. That's what's going to be the focus of these ones, because that shield that it gets is going to be 100% reliant on how much damage you cause to the other side. Last but not least, in our original set of tier 12, we have 12.3, Dream Eater, Phantom, and Mirage. These are your defense focused tier 12 troops. Their sub ability is Spiritual Barrier. It reduces damage received by 10 to 30%. This is a random value each time damage is received. So it could be 10% reduction, it could be 30% reduction, or it could just be 20, somewhere in the middle. But these ones, this is your defensive commanders. If you haven't made it to the higher end, if you're running comms like Orochi, Reinhardt, Rogers, this is a troop build for you. Couldn't really tell you on the Walker side so much. When you're using Hancock, I feel like the Void Stalkers are probably best for Hanny. Probably Blue Hulk for Sister Wolf. Infantry side, I know a lot of Gillies run the Great Sage one. Stella's, they tend to run the Transcender or Great Sage. If they build a tank one where it's more focused on like defense and survivability, then they're going with that Dream Eater. So let's move on to the newer ones. So this I would like to call this tier 13, but Arc of War, 7 Pirates, and their infinite wisdom, let's just add more T12. Why not? Let's not just keep going up the realm in number of tiers. We're going to bottom out at tier 12, and we're going to just have 30 different versions of T12 by the time the game fails. Anyways, when they first came out, we were given this set, which is the Galaxy Guard, Time Walker, and the Cyan Shuttle. This one's sub ability is Time Rewind. It heals a stack of troops each time the stack is targeted or hit. More healing if dodged. This also has a range of 10 to 30%, which is random each time it's triggered. So with these ones, the focus is dodge, because the more you dodge, the better. And say you did get hit, but the next couple times you're able to dodge it, that slot is going to gain even a better. It's when it says more healing and dodge, it's basically saying your chance of getting at least 30%, which is the max here, is a lot greater. And when you don't dodge, you're probably leaning towards a more shuffle between 10 and 20%. Moving on. So then they came out with these guys. this is gonna be our tier 12.5. So these ones were 0.4, these ones are 0.5. That's your Soul Reaver. That is your Contract Keeper. And IC 1848. Now, see, I found this kind of, interesting and ridiculous. I think I said this in the breakdown of Soul Reaver General. The fact that the command or the type of troop for Soul Reaver is infantry, but the commander whose name is Soul Reaver General is an airship commander. It's kind of ass backward to me, but whatever. Moving on. So their sub ability is Soul Resonance. Accuracy increases by 200% and gains additional 100% accuracy for each adjacent teammate. What this means is these are 100% focused on accuracy. As the time goes on, they will never miss, theoretically. When it says gains additional 100% accuracy for adjacent teammate, so if you're marching a full march and slot 1 goes, then slots 4 and 2 are going to get an additional 100%. So we're stacking on 200% to 300% every time a slot triggers. And as we come down to the newest ones, which are 12.6, once again, I'd rather be on like tier 15 at this part. I think it would be tier 18. Energy Burst grants plus 100% crit and 200% crit damage to a row of allied troops. Lasts until the end of battle. Now, there's a lot of confusion on what's the difference between crit and crit damage. Crit is going to be a percentage of how likely you are to do a critical hit, which is going to be more damage than a normal, just what you have built up in penetration attack damage. Crit damage is actually compounds on that crit to where it's a greater chance to do direct damage that's even greater. I honestly I understand the concept in my head. I don't know how to truly explain it very well, and I apologize for that. I just know one has to specifically deal with the percentage of how many times you may crit versus the other one is how many times the damage will be if you do crit. So it's just, the focus of this one is just damage. It's crit damage. You want to have all the crit, all the attack, penetration built for these ones. This is not your survivability. This is your I'm there to wreck somebody and make them hurt. This is gonna be definitely for Dragon Slayer, Ethereals, Annihilator, Vulcan. This set here, Ethereals are going to be definitely for Dragon Slayer. It kind of gets more into a question of which commander best suits what, and I've been kind of playing with it. It's really how you build your gear. It's really how you play the commander. When it comes to like Reinhardt and Orochi, Cyan Shuttle is going to be a good play. Even IC 1848 for Orochi. And then maybe, I mean, the way that they're stacked right here is probably the way I'd use them. For Dragon Slayer, Ethereals all the way. For Black, you would probably do the 1848 or Ethereals, depending on which one you would want more. Because I mean, his gears are, I mean, his skills already stack up attack and crit to where he needs more accuracy because he doesn't have an auto crit. When you're going into the Walker side, Time Walker for a Hancock, Elf, the really defensive Walkers. Probably for Monk, you're going to go Contract Keeper, Annihilator. You'll probably do more on Contract Keeper and Annihilator. You'll probably go more on the Sister Wolf side or even Annihilator or Time Walker, to be honest. I think she's got auto hits off the top of my head. It's been a while since I thought about it. I'm not a Walker commander. I don't use them. I do more on the the airship side. For the infantry, I've seen War Machine. So I've seen War Machine most of the time is using the Galaxy Guard. The time rewind skill seems to work best for him in terms of just lasting longer and just being a pain in the ass to kill. If you're running like Stella, Soul Reaver is probably going to be best, just because out of this set here, just because She doesn't have an auto hit unless you put a fourth plug skill auto hit. Even then, if you have a fourth skill auto hit, you'd probably best with Vulcan and set her up for just damage, because a lot of times people use Stella just for one slotting. So it's really dependent on how you're using the commander. But hopefully this gives you a better idea of, you know, which one is going to be best suited for the commander you're using. I'm gonna post these in my Discord page if you want to download them and keep them for yourself for a reference, so you don't have to screenshot this video or whatnot. So if you're not in the Discord, it's in the link below, or the link is in the description below. Please join. Trying to build that community so we can share stuff like this. And then, you know, there's channels for infantry, walker, and airship. If you have ideas on which one's best for which, feel free to jump into those channels and voice that opinion, or tell us which ones you use and which ones have worked best for you. But that about wraps it up, guys. We'll see what's next. I know we have a new there's still a couple of commanders that I haven't hit yet that are new. We'll get to them. I just have had a lot of requests for this, so I felt like this was the better way to play the next video. So until next time, guys.